Feeling a bit kind of meh lately and not really understanding why you feel this way? Well, today I'm going to go over how you can identify that feeling and two, what you can do about it. Welcome to another Psych Byte episode with me, David Mykel, head coach at PSYFI, and I'm excited to bring you this kind of concept that I came across thanks to Adam Grant, one of the prominent psychologists in the country, his article on languishing. So if you guys didn't read this article, it was in the New York Times. It was amazing. I recommend it to all my clients, my students, my community. Adam Grant identified this term called languishing. And languishing was kind of this in-between stage of like depression and joy and flow. And I think this is probably a good thing that most of us have been like in this state with a lot of the changes that have been going on, COVID life and all this kind of stuff. And what it means is you kind of just feel, man, you don't feel amazing and great and in flow, but you also don't feel like depressed and down and this kind of thing. You're kind of stuck in this middle ground and you're kind of almost apathetic in a way. So one of the things that I figured out regarding this, and I drove this back to Ghostbusters 2. If you guys haven't seen that, check it out when they're shooting it in New York City. It's not the newest one, it's one of the older ones, but the concept is that there was this there was this pink goo running under New York City. And what this pink goo represented was kind of like evil, pure, unadulterated evil. And so what it did is it ended up infecting the city, and now the city became more evil and more on edge, and then basically they had to fight this stuff. But what it was doing, it was just, here's the city, it was just going under the city constantly, running. And I feel like that's what's going on with a lot of us lately, is that we're here and there's this undercurrent under us of all this worry and stress and anxiety, and it's just there, and it's a low level stress, but then it'll bubble up time to time. It bubbles up and it knocks us off our game. It bubbles up and it makes us angry at people. It bubbles up and gets us procrastinating. It bubbles up and makes us feel like we don't know, this kind of languishing thing. And I believe it is a low level anxiety due to all the uncertainty we've been dealing with lately. So what I want to introduce you today is this thing just simply called name it to tame it. We've talked about this in other episodes, but I think this is a really great one to talk about this lower level anxiety that's going on. This pink goo, if the Ghostbuster reference goes with you, of like junk that's going underneath our lives, and it bubbles up and it bubbles up. Just recognize that we are in a time where this is unprecedented when it comes to mental and emotional health. We've never been here before, not only as a community, but as a society, as a race. So when you feel you're just like, I don't know what's going on, I'm kind of like, I feel kind of meh, just realize that you're languishing, and it's okay for you to feel that way. And that in that moment, you are not alone as well. There's plenty of us that are dealing with this. Me, my clients, my community, my students, your friends, your family, everyone. And just having that little ability to name it and know what's going on is going to allow you to take the proper action steps that we identify in all of our Psych Bytes, that you can deal with this stress or anxiety powerfully, taking command back of your life instead of being ruled by this little undercurrent of stress and anxiety. Remember, name it to tame it, guys. Realize there's something going on underneath this little undercurrent that's kind of eroding the foundation of your healthy habits, physically, mentally, and emotionally, and take back command of your life today.